saying out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. It's a classic. It's a throwback classic. Who said that? Every time I sing the song, no, I don't regret that. On the Thursday, I give it to you, baby, in the worst way. You're gay, I'm gay, every day we're all gay. Hey, hey, I do more for the LGBTQRS plus community than you do any day. Call this a podcast, a gay parade. Enough of this charade, welcome to Thursday. I'm looking into your soul, right into your soul. Who said that? Every time we pause, I don't regret that. I'm thinking of the next line in the song before I said that. Past tense, that's a setback. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday. Gonna give it to you in the worst way. We get it popping. Everybody knows it. Ain't no stopping. The podcast is growing. No one knowing that we're close to blowing, like we're tiptoeing and it just exploding. Have I been saying that for 2 years? Over 200 episodes. We just keep going. Rome wasn't built in a day. No shit. Whoever said that, you know what I was going to do. Who said that? Rome wasn't built in a day. Can we start clearing out some of these quotes? Some of these old-timey quotes that just people just love to say? People use the worst quotes to live by. I know we've talked about this before, but it's so true. Just because things rhyme sometimes doesn't mean they make sense that you should live your life by it. Another thing people do, they live fucking by the stars. Okay? Fucking horoscopes and everything. Listen, I'm a Sagittarius, and some people come up to me, and there's weird things, I'll admit. I think there's nothing wrong with seeking wisdom. And like people come up to me and they'll be like, what's your sign? Like after I've been talking and I'm like, I'm a Sagittarius. And they're like, I knew it. You're such a Sag. My dad's a Sag. And I'm just like, what? What the fuck does that mean? If someone's an expert on this, please reach out to me. All right? And I need to find some real shit with the horoscopes. There's people that just completely, they live their life by the moon and the stars. And they're just like, you know what? Some baristas writing out the words from the stars right now on their lunch break. And there's like, you fucking go for it. I'll start living my life by it when it holds up in court. Like you're on trial for something. And they're like, wait. This man's a Libra. They were an Aquarius. Of course he murdered her in cold blood. Then I'm like, all right, well, there's some validity to this. There's so much weird shit in the world that actually, like I could easily just I could be dumb enough. Or I could just be too dumb to even understand the level of spiritual connection to the stars and the moon and the sun and everything. Because there's always weird things, like when things are positioned differently, how people act and everything, when there's like a full moon and shit. Like there has been some times when they're like, it's a fucking blood moon. People are going to be super on edge and blah, blah, blah. And they like say some shit like that. And it's true. Like, I'm like, man, dude, I was kind of on edge like a goddamn werewolf last night. This is just coincidence. It's like there's so much going on that my little pea brain just can't handle. Okay? Your boy has been researching the shrooms, the mushrooms. I'm trying to see the universe. I'm trying to drink from the goblet of Mother Earth. Okay? I'm trying to expand, because what's the fucking point? Just to pay bills and die? No, I want to fucking have an awakening. I'm trying to do some DMT and through the galaxy and burst into 1,000 stars and just find out what the fuck is going on. I'm trying to meet an alien, all right? You got to be out there, right? Why wouldn't they be? Be a lot of empty space to waste for it just to be us here. for us to have the idea. Like, we just believe shit. And I think it's like we just wake up and we're born and we just start going with life. And we're just like, yeah, this is it. All right. Everybody's been doing this around us for a long time. This is just what life is you just wake up and we've been doing it this way for my existence. So this is just what you do. You get a job and you blah, 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 and you live and you blah, 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 and you get the fucking boat and the 2.5 kids and blah. But it's like, that's only what people do because that's what they've been doing, you know? And it's like, is this the point? Is this how we're supposed to be? No, I say. Or at least what the box is. Like throughout history, we always like fill in the blank with whatever works for us or whatever we can comprehend. You ever like showed something? Jiu-jitsu is a good example of this. When you first start jiu-jitsu, things are happening to you that you just don't even comprehend what's happening to you. It is the most ego deflating thing. And you have to make it through that dark water to be able to learn how to like do that. But you just have no perspective of understanding. You have no anchor of being like, this is what is happening. This is the reference. And I understand this. When moves are happening, you don't know the leverage, nothing, submissions, all that. And it just feels like someone's a wizard with what they're doing to you. You don't even see it happening. There's a bigger dance going on. But as you learn, you start piecing together what actually went into it. Oh, the details and everything like that. Before all of that happened, you're like, I was just, somehow they flipped me over and I was getting choked. That's what we sum it up to. I think the same thing happens with life, and we fill in the blanks because we have no other reference. I think like with space and spirituality, is that the right way to say that word? Words are hard sometimes. I think we just been going on what makes sense to us. Like when people are like, yeah, I'm an atheist and blah, blah, blah. We're just animals. I'm like, I don't know if we're smart enough to know completely if we can be atheists in the sense of what the world is. It might be something that we just didn't even think was an option. Like before we had technology to see ultraviolet light and all of this stuff, we had no idea about anything going on around us. Like we're so dumb that we just think, yeah, this is, it's just us here. And it's like we think of heaven, we literally think the sky. Think of the Tower of Babel. That's like the dumbest, offend some people here. That's the dumbest Bible story. And I apologize, God, if you are up there. Show me. The Tower of Babel, God changed, like that's literally an example of dumb humans filling in the blanks as to why there's different languages. The Tower of Babel, people got together, they all spoke the same language on earth. And they started building a tower that was going to reach the heavens. So God went, fuck that. Rather than knocking this tower down, I'm going to confuse them in the middle of their day. And their fucking friend, George, is now Jorge. That's what God did, is he went from like, hello to hola. And he was like, his friend was like, what? And he was like, ¿qué? He was like, what are you doing? He says, ¿qué haciendo? And he says, dude, stop playing. He says, yo no jugar contigo. And it's just like, that's what happened. And then their fucking friend, fucking Peter, all of a sudden comes out and he's like, hey, Pepe, ¿cómo se va? Enchanté. And then that dude was just speaking French, if you couldn't pick that up from my perfect accent. I took French in high school. Dumb. I don't really remember. J'aime jouer au basket. I like to play basketball. I don't really. Not built for it. Okay. But that was the story of the Tower of Babel. And that's a perfect example of humans just filling in the blank to make it make sense to our dumb brains. That could be the case with, religion and what the universe really is and the cosmos and how big everything is. That could be us just, We can't comprehend about how crazy things really are. So we don't have any reference point. So there could really be so much more to a spiritual world that we just don't even comprehend. We're not tuned into it. We can't get on that radio frequency. We'll use take two. That's like something I used to do with music to like deconstruct it back when your boy was just making music all the time. I would love putting music on in Puerto Rico. Your boy would smoke some of that devil's lettuce, put my headphones on and listen to music. And I would listen to like a song on repeat and I would just lay there with my eyes closed and I'd shut down all my other senses besides just listening to this. And the more I would do that and I would try to focus on it, I would start hearing new stuff in the song. I would start hearing little details. I would start picking up every difference of every instrument and everything that was going on. That if I didn't try to focus on it, I wasn't aware, I wouldn't hear it. And then when there were certain, like I started listening to some songs and I really liked those little details and I kind of put it through that kind of process, I would mention it to someone. I'd be like, dude, I love the way on the fucking 1/8 on the hi-hats, he added that extra little with like the reverb and everything. And they'd be like, what? I'd be like, listen, right here. And I like that. And they'd be like, holy shit, I've never heard that before. Or it's like the same thing when you're going to buy a car. And all of a sudden, you see that car everywhere. All of a sudden, you're seeing fucking Subarus everywhere. I don't see Subarus. That was an example, okay? Didn't play a lot of softball growing up. Doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. But that's what I think kind of going on with things around us. Just in general, I get a busy head sometimes. A busy head where I have too much input, too much noise coming in. If I'm listening to a podcast, I'm in music and I'm emailing and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I haven't had enough silence. And I haven't been able to like tune into my environment. And then you just go outside with nothing for a little while. And then you're just like, man, I did not notice how nice the clouds look today. Something like that. Just weird things. And you got to like bring yourself back to the present, I think it's all just what you focus on, Sometimes I get a little far out there sometimes. A little too spiritual. But life is a miracle. That was weird. Oh. Listen, we're going to talk about this story. It's worth talking about, okay? I wouldn't bring it up to you if I didn't think this was great. Drake allegedly put hot sauce in a condom to prevent a woman from fucking turkey basting herself with it. Insane. An Instagram model tells Too Much Hot Tea blog that she had consensual sex with the rap superstar at his hotel a few weeks ago. Perfect reading, Evan. Keep it up. After their romantic encounter, Drake reportedly went... Oh, it loaded weird. That wasn't me fucking up my words. Went to the bathroom to dispose of the condom. That's when the woman removed the condom from the trash and inserted the opening end in her vagina in an attempt to impregnate herself, only to discover that there was hot sauce in the condom. I'll be honest with you. Drake. Baller move. Baller move. And you know what else? This woman should go to jail. 100% this woman should go to jail. She was trying to entrap someone for financial gain and just life gain. Like that is terrible. If this happens either way, because it does happen, where dudes just like have some fucking crazy shit in their head, it's all crazy shit. If you're trying to trap someone with a pregnancy, oh yeah, that's going to be a great relationship. She claims that she screamed from the burning sensation before Drake ran in the bathroom. He admitted that he poured a packet of hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm, writes the outlet. Dude, what the fuck, Drake? To kill the sperm? Why didn't you just... I mean, that's brutal. He's like, these are my little children. He just puts fucking hot sauce like he sends them straight to hell. Just like, that's just so aggressive. And then here's my other question. Is Drake walking around with hot sauce packets in his pocket for this particular situation? Because that's wild in itself. Like, does Drake have options? Could he have like a little, like, Drake, you're big, have spermicide packets for this humanely? Are you cheap? Are you like, nah, I go to fucking Roscoe's and I just grab any hot sauce packets? Allegedly, it was Tabasco. I smell a sponsor. I smell a sponsor, Drake. But also, the Tabasco is a tight move because it lets you know that the trap happened. It went off. It's like putting an alarm on the cookie jar. He ran into the other room and caught her in the cookie jar, and he went, now you're going to pay for your sins. That's wild. I want to know. I have so many questions for this. Like, was it just luck that he happened to have a condom or a Tabasco packet? Drake is a savage. Sometimes I'll be chillin' and I'll be done thrilling and I'll be fucking models, but I keep that little tiny bottle of Tabasco just in case this girl tries to be an asshole. And we got a new fiasco and I'll be pouring spicy shit on my children, but they ain't born yet. They ain't born yet. But I'll be trapping women with that hot feeling. I sprinkle a little bit in the condom and then I be on them. I hear her screaming from the other room and I zoom in just to see her start with the grooming. She pouring ice cubes in because it's starting to burning. And that's when I be learning that you can't trust these women. That's why I keep that Tabasco on me all day, 24/7. Girl, I thought you were different. Luckily I had chicken for lunch. He said, do you want some hot sauce packets? I said, yes, a bunch. That was the dumbest shit I've ever done in my life. Do I regret a single thing? No. Cause I be chillin', killing sperm with them hot sauce peeling. With that hot sauce packet, dag nabbit. I can't have it. What if they ended up having that baby and it was just a spicy little baby? Little Tabasco baby. That's crazy what. Because I've heard about that. That's why I don't, there's got to be a better way to do that, right? Than just putting Tabasco in it. Why not? Why not this? Why not dump it out and flush it? Huh? How at this point in your career are you just like, yeah, let me just, you care about the hotel that much that you're just like, nah, I'm not going to flush this right now. Wrap it in here, Drake. I'll do you a solid. Wrap it in a little bit of toilet paper. Flush it. Who cares about the plumbing? You're rich. You'd rather have a chance of a baby? You're not always going to have Tabasco on you. Unless you do, that's a baller move. You got fucking, what's that other girl that's out there running amok? Brittany Renner? Is that her name? She'd be just trying to trap these basketball players. She even put out a thing of how to trap basketball players. And then a baller move, the college basketball team had her come out to talk to the players about women trying to trap them. Which is crazy. She's getting paid both ways. That's nuts. That's like a robber getting paid to come show you how not to let them rob you. That's crazy. This is the world in 2022. We got Drake pouring Tabasco and condoms. And Brittany Renner out here. I don't even know if that's her name. I think it is. Brittany Renner out here teaching people how not to be robbed while she's robbing them. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've always heard about that in the NBA though. How they would like have someone come talk to them about like, you need to take your condoms with you. Okay? Don't be leaving that. That sucks. They're just real forgetful. Like, God damn it. They turkey basted me. And then you just have a kid forever. How terrifying. How terrifying. This is not normally a topic I like discussing, but like there was that thing it came across my dash. I don't know how, but with what's her face, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan, whatever his name was. From what I heard, he cheated on his baby mama while she was pregnant and like giving birth with Khloe Kardashian. Then ends up dating Khloe Kardashian and they end up having a baby. And then he cheats on her while she's giving birth with someone else. There was footage. And then just coming out like this week, a paternity test, he has another baby with another woman while being with Khloe Kardashian. Tristan, talk to Drake. Because they be trying to trap you. And you need that Tabasco packet and get at you. Okay? You put just a couple drops. You make this shit really hot. So stupid. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We had a mild stroke right there. But I love you guys. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you found some interesting thing in this whole popsicle. In this popsicle that I'm force feeding you these cold, hard facts. Bars, ladies and gentlemen. I keep them on deck. You know that. I keep them on deck like some patio furniture. Because people put patio furniture on decks. Shouldn't have to explain my bars, but sometimes I will just for the extra credit. Some things you never get used to, ladies and gentlemen. Bombing on stage. Did your boy bomb? It was more of a crash and burn. Okay? Listen. Sometimes it's good that it happens. And this is, things start going too well sometimes with stand-up. You have too many good sets. And you start, it's like you're not preparing for the winter. And then winter comes around and it's like, hey, surprise, motherfucker, here's a snowball in your fucking asshole. That's what bombing on stage is like. And so it's unavoidable sometimes. I think it's good. And the most growth happens from bombing. Bombing isn't the same. Like, here's the good thing. If anybody has aspirations of doing public speaking or stand up or anything where you have to just get out of your comfort zone and deal with public humiliation, it's only the worst in the beginning. I mean, there's other points where I'm sure it will feel pretty bad, but I feel like there's no bomb like that first bomb. Like when I first started stand up, I can think of the first bomb that I ever did. And it tortured me. It fucked up my stomach. I remember laying in bed and literally tossing and turning for like 4 hours. I couldn't fall asleep at all. And then I thought about it all the next day. I thought about the rest of the week. And it just made me feel terrible. And I remember it made me write so much more. It made me go over my set more, learn how to work through it. And you learn the most from them. And I had a set last night where it was like, it's normally outside, but it was inside. And I was dressed way too hot for being inside. And they had the heater on because it's normally an outdoor spot. And so I'm literally sweating. It's like a sweat lodge in there. I'm hallucinating. I'm tired from like doing like a 12-hour workday of editing, talking to clients, all this shit. And I'm just like, I'm just going to go there. I'm going to run through my set, blah, blah, blah. The whole intimacy, because people are too close. And sometimes when you get in an environment like that, where people are close enough to make eye contact, like where they feel weird with the eye contact, you're singling them out. They look away and it gets real awkward. And then I fumbled through a couple bits. I tried doing some crowd work that just didn't work. And it felt like I was bombing. I was getting laughs. It was a struggle. But I was bombing because I let it affect me. That's why I was bombing, is because I was letting it affect me. I felt the bomb. It affected my performance. And it felt like more of a, ever seen like a plane crash landing and then they're like, and it's not like the plane doesn't just go down. It's like explodes. It kind of hits the bottom and goes, and it's going and like one of the wing just like snaps off and it's just gliding and it's like, this is never going to be a plane again. That's how it felt. I just needed you guys to know that. But the good thing is, it's almost like a crazy storm. You know how after a storm, there's like plants start growing and then fucking animals have water. It's good for the crops. That's what bombing is it's a storm that's good for the crops. Because guess what you don't want to happen after you bomb? It to happen again. So then it makes you work that much harder and you got to get that much better and tighten this up. Especially when you realize you bombed because of you. It wasn't the crowd. I hardly ever like to blame the crowd. It's always on you. I hate when I hear people be like, they just weren't, they weren't into it. They just, this kind of crowd, they were all uptight, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, you got to play the field the way it lies. Okay? Because I feel like once you start opening that door to where you're like, it's the crowd, it's not me, and you just don't take ultimate responsibility, you leave it open to become mediocre, to have an escape rather than looking at it, even if it isn't your fault. Sometimes it's not, but you leave it open to allow your ego to be protected. And then once you do that, you allow it to be able to have excuses and to not try to find a solution. That's why I've started doing. That's kind of how I've been with my life. Is there is a point where, whether everybody goes through problems. Everybody has problems and we all have our own shit. There's a point where you just have to accept responsibility for everything, even if it wasn't your fault. Where you're at in your life, accept responsibility and only accept that your life is going to change because of you, because of what you're going to do or what you did got you to this point. And that was like a hard thing I had to swallow years back. I swallowed it, giggity. Was when I went, you know what? I'm here in this situation right now because whether this happened to me or this happened to me or this fuck did this, how I responded to that is the reason why I am where I am at. And whether it's my fault or not, it's my fault. And now what the fuck are we going to do to get ourselves out of it? Waiting around for something to happen, something to help you. And it's just like, it's not coming. It has to be you. It's like that scene in Harry Potter. I'm a nerd out on you. When he thinks his father's going to come because of the Patronus. Remember that movie? Where he's like, I know my dad, it was a stag or whatever, and his expecto Patronus. And he realized that it was him that had to save himself. It's fucking life, baby. That's fucking life right there. All right? You got to save yourself. No one's going to show up to save you. Guess what? You're the fucking hero. You're the one who has to rescue yourself, And that's so much more rewarding. You realize that life isn't about acclamations and just getting stuff. Like the result isn't the getting stuff. The result isn't money. The result isn't fame. The result isn't, acquiring assets. That's all stuff that trust fund babies can have. Things that people can just be born with. And guess what? Those people are so miserable and unfulfilled because they didn't do anything to acquire it. It was just all given it to them. And it's like through the struggle and through the hard work and the having to pick yourself up, that's where the real gratitude and the real fulfillment comes from. and the ability to possess all those things. Everything feels so much better because you struggled to get through stuff, because it was that fucking hard. If everything was easy, we wouldn't give a shit about nothing. It's like playing a game with the cheat codes on. You're just like, nah, this is boring after a while. You know? That's the way I look at it, brother. But can we talk about something real quick? I talked about the Harry Potter thing. They just had like that Harry Potter 20 years later or whatever it was, where they all went back to Hogwarts. Where the fuck is J.K. Rowling's? Oh, you're telling me the creator of this world wasn't allowed at the creation of her thing? It'd be like if God was real. Who knows? And we had an Earth celebration. Yeah, the humanity and everything in humans. They were like, who should we invite? Who should the guest of honor be? Just a bunch of humans. Just the people that were... Well, what about the creator? Nah, fuck that guy. That's what the equivalent is. Because of the dumbest shit ever. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but J.K. Rowling has been constantly canceled. Not because she's a bigot, not because she doesn't support trans rights. All she ever did was acknowledge that she's proud to be a woman and that she wants to preserve her pride of being a woman, and you know that everybody's lives matter and all this. She didn't say all lives matter. Burn her at the stake. That's how life goes now. But she didn't say anything. She was super, accepting, and then everybody churned on her. All the actors in the movies and everything, and they just went all crazy because of the pressure of the mob. They all were just like, yeah, fuck that. I'm part of that. But we really have to, how are we not going to acknowledge the genius of J.K. Rowling? There's people who are actually bigots, racists, and terrible people that we put on pedestals. But this person who's created this universe and helped so many amazing people, she's created so many amazing stories and characters that helped people have a identity through this world she created. The Harry Potter world is amazing. It's amazing. You put the fucking music on in the holidays for me. It makes my nostalgic willy tingle. Okay? It's phenomenal. What she's done is simply amazing, and the amount of good that she's done for people in general. How are we going to completely say she's this terrible person now, boycott her? She's wiped from the record books, history books, because of what people assume she means when she says something, which she's clarified over and over again. It's just crazy. We're pretending she doesn't exist. There was someone who even wrote, they said something about her in the books. They said the book in the world that she created and what she wanted it to be and blah, blah, blah. They made sure they put in the bottom, this was filmed in 2010 or some shit like that. So people knew that no one was saying anything good about J.K. Rowling at this point, now that we know how she is. It's just, it's insane. It's an elephant in the room. And that's what a lot of stuff I feel like. Even when I say jokes on stage and people don't want to laugh at it, and I'm like, okay, we're acknowledging that. We're not acknowledging this is a joke. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes with the way people react. I didn't know what that sound effect was, and I just wanted to play it. But ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts on J.K. Rowling. Yay or nay? Just want to hear your opinion, because maybe I'm wrong. And what do we think about this whole Drake thing? Drake pouring hot sauce. That shit is wild. Wild, Drake. I support it, though, at the end of the day. If you want to pour hot sauce in it, that's your goddamn right. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. Hope it made you laugh, made your willy tingle. It is what it is. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content. We've been putting out more shorts on YouTube. And remember, no matter what, ladies and gentlemen, I always will. And I still love you.